Hi, my friend. I'm so happy you're here today. This story is about one young woman's journey to change her life, even when everything felt impossible. Don't worry, I won't give away the ending, but I promise you will feel inspired. You're doing great. Even listening to English right now is a big step forward. Practice a little every day, and you will see progress. Hi, I'm Lena. I'll be your narrator and friend today. This is your moment to listen, repeat, and shadow my voice. Welcome to Fluent English Every Day. For the first time in my life, I felt truly stuck. I was 24 years old, living in a small apartment in the city and working at a job I didn't like. Every morning, I looked at myself in the mirror and thought, is this all there is? My friends seemed happy. They went to parties. They bought new clothes. But me? I didn't feel happy at all. To be honest, I felt empty inside. One rainy Saturday, I was walking home from the supermarket. My bag was heavy, and my hair was wet from the rain. Out of nowhere, an old woman stopped me. She smiled, even though the rain was falling on her face, she said. I laughed nervously. I guess I am. Then she said something I didn't expect. You can change your life, you know. It's never too late. Her words surprised me. I didn't see it coming. She didn't know me, but it felt like she could see into my heart. I wanted to ask her more, but she just smiled, turned, and walked away that night. I couldn't stop thinking about her. Change my life. How? Where would I start? The next morning, I made a list. It wasn't a big plan, just small things. Wake up early. Take a walk. Read one page of a book. It felt silly, but I had no choice. I needed to try something. On the first day, I woke up early and opened my window. The air was fresh. I went outside and walked slowly down my street. I noticed the flowers in front of the bakery, the sound of birds, the smell of fresh bread. For the first time in my life, I felt awake. But change is never easy. After 3 days, my bed was warm. My phone was full of messages. Still, I remembered the old woman's face in the rain. Her eyes were full of kindness and hope. One evening, something happened that made me stop and think even more deeply about my life. It was just a small thing, but it would soon change everything. That evening, I was sitting in a small cafe near my apartment. I often went there when I needed to think. The place was warm, and the smell of coffee made me feel safe. Was reading my list again when I heard a voice beside me. Hi, are you Lena? I looked up, surprised. A young woman stood there, holding a cup of tea. She had kind eyes and a shy smile. Yes, I'm Lena, I said. Do I know you? She shook her head. No, but I've seen you walking every morning. You look different, happier, I think. Her words made me pause. Me, happier. To be honest, I didn't feel that different. But maybe, in small ways, I was changing. She sat down at my table. Her name was Mia. We started talking about life. She told me she wanted to be a photographer, but she was scared to try. I had no choice but to take my office job, she said softly. It pays the bills. I understood her completely. For the first time in my life, I felt like someone understood me too. Over the next few weeks, Mia and I met often. Sometimes we walked together in the mornings. Sometimes we just sat in the cafe and talked about the future. She told me about a community art class she wanted to join, but she kept making excuses. One morning I said to her, Mia, you can change your life. It's never too late. She smiled in surprise. Those were the same words the old woman had said to me in the rain. That night, I thought about how meeting Mia had made me braver. Change didn't have to be big or loud. Sometimes it started with just one step and one friend. Then one Friday, Mia sent me a message. Come to the park at 6 p.m. I have something to show you. When I arrived, she was standing under a big oak tree. Her hands were shaking as she held out a small envelope. Open it, she said. Inside was a letter. It was an invitation to display her photos at a local gallery. I couldn't believe it. Mia, this is amazing. She laughed and cried at the same time. I almost didn't send my work, she said. But I remembered your words. I had no choice but to try. That moment filled my heart with joy. But I didn't know that something even bigger was coming for me. Something that would test all my courage. A week after Mia's big news, I was walking home from the park. The sky was pink and gold, and the air felt warm against my skin. I was thinking about how much had changed in just a few weeks. Out of nowhere, my phone rang. It was a number I didn't know. I almost didn't answer, but something inside told me to pick up. Hello, is this Lena? A woman's voice asked. Yes, this is Lena. My name is Claire. I'm from the local library. We saw your name on the community board. You offered to help with our reading group. Is that still true? I froze months ago. I had written my name on that board when I was feeling brave for one moment. To be honest, I had completely forgotten about it. Yes, I said slowly. It's still true. She invited me to come the next Saturday. That morning, I almost didn't go. My hands were sweaty and my heart was racing. But I remembered the old woman in the rain and Mia's smile when she showed me her letter. I had no choice but to try. When I walked into the library, I saw 5 children sitting in a circle. They were waiting for me to read to them. I sat down, opened the book, and began. At first, my voice shook, but as I continued, the children leaned closer, their eyes wide. By the end, they were laughing and clapping. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was exactly where I was meant to be. I started going to the library every week. Reading to the children became the best part of my life. One rainy afternoon, almost like the day I met the old woman, I saw her again. She was sitting on a bench, feeding birds. I walked up to her and said, "You were right. I changed my life." She smiled, her eyes full of warmth. "I didn't change it," she said. "You did. My friend, remember this. Your life can change in small steps. You don't need to do everything at once. One walk, one smile, one brave choice can open a new door. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. And you can begin today, no matter where you are." If you enjoyed this story, keep practicing every day. Listen again, shadow my voice, and speak out loud with confidence. Subscribe to Fluent English every day for more stories that will help you grow, not just in English, but in life. Thank you for listening today. You did amazing. Let's keep learning together, one beautiful step at a time.